I'm going to show how I install one of these delayed action magnetic uncouplers in the track. These are from Microtrains. There are some fairly fine tolerances. You can see it's actually quite long. It's a good portion of the length of a boxcar, which means we don't really need to use the whole length. They are quite expensive after all. So what I prefer to do is to cut one in half. This obviously requires some care because the magnets are very brittle, so we need to do this carefully. I've seen places suggest you can score and snap the magnet, but as you'll see here, trying to cut it with any sort of blade is tricky, to say the least. The blade doesn't really get any purchase on the surface of the magnet, it just slides around, and it's very difficult to get any reasonable scoring on the magnet. I have done it in the past, but the cuts tend to be very uneven and a bit unreliable. So what I prefer to do instead is to use a rotary tool. So I'll just grab the Dremel here, and we just very lightly cut into the magnet while holding it, and it will snap straight away on its own once you cut enough. That can leave some jagged edges, and we don't want those catching on the trip pins on the couplers, so I'll just grind off the jagged portions. Again, very gently and lightly, because we don't want to have any fragments snapping off. It probably would help if I had a better blade on here. This one's a bit worn, but it does the job. We just need to take the sharp edges off. There we go. The other side wasn't too bad, so we have now 2 uncoupler magnets. Much better value. Now, looking at the instructions, it looks a bit excessive, but there are a couple of points that are very important, specifically around the centering and being level with the rail tops. Now, on a code 80 rail, the magnet is a bit too thick. We can see it sticking above there. That's no good at all. It's going to catch on everything. But it's also thicker than the ties. So we're stuck in a bit of a predicament. Code 55 is also going to be pretty tricky because you're going to have a similar issue with it being too tall. But before we can worry about that, we need to get a hole in the track. So this is a bit of flex on my staging layout. I'm just going to mark the points where we need to cut because we don't want to take any more ties out than we have to. Like so. Then I'll use a flat blade on the hobby knife to cut those ties on the inside of the track. And we obviously want to be careful, not too much pressure, just enough to cut them right inside the rail there. It will deform a little bit, but this shorter section, it shouldn't actually cause any problem with the rail gauge. Once we remove them, it springs back straight away. With non-flex track, it's even easier because they're much more rigid. So that's fine. Now we just need to get rid of those. Just get the tweezers and pull those out. Now we have our hole. We just need to test fit the magnet in the hole, make sure we don't have to trim anymore. Looks like we do. There's a bit of offcut there, get that out of the way. Right, there we go. Now we're sitting in, but that is too low. You might think it would still work, and you might have some success, especially with Accumates. They decouple a little more easily, but Microtrains couplers, with it that far down, they won't have enough repulsion force to decouple properly. So what we're going to have to do is raise that up. Now, what I found works pretty well with code 80 track at least is this styrene strip here, the 0.04 inch. So what we can do is we can create a little bed frame for the magnet to sit on. We'll just measure that up against the magnet we're using, and we'll cut it off to length. Now we'll need 4 of these because each one of these is only half the height we need to raise that up to the rail tops. So I'll just cut 4 of those pieces to the same length. Like so. Right, so now we have those. We can glue them in place directly. I'll just use white glue for this. PVA is my preference. Just put some, not too much, because we don't want any extra height on these things. This is exactly the right height we need, so we need to be very careful. I'll just smear some on the upper surface so they stick together a bit better. And then lay the first 2 in the hole. We don't have to be too precise, they just need to be clear of the ties and flat. They're going to hold the magnet up on both sides, so that's fine. Put them in there. And then we need to put the other 2 strips on top of those. It's going to be a little bit fiddly, but it's not too big a deal. Just drop that in. Okay. And then with a little bit of glue on the top, we just put the magnet in place. Now we want to push that down fairly hard because we want to squeeze any excess glue out from between the layers. We don't want any extra height. It has to be exactly level with the rail top. If it is above that, we're going to have issues with catching. But those styrene strips are the perfect height for this, as long as the glue is kept straight off. There we go, we can see the couplers pass over without catching, which is perfect. So there you go. The important things to remember to make sure you have reliable uncoupling is to make sure that the magnet is centered between the rails. This is both to make sure you have even repulsion between the trip pins on either side, and obviously to keep your flangeways clear. The other important thing to keep in mind is that level with the track, the rail tops. That is absolutely essential, and that is probably the biggest thing to take away from this. If the magnet is even slightly too low, then your magnetic repulsion won't be enough. Your cars won't uncouple and the whole thing will be a waste of time. So make sure you build it up just to that right level and not anything more, because you don't want to have any trip pin catching. That's really frustrating. Okay, until next time.